A pro Overwatch team announces a sponsorship deal with a pyramid scheme company, and fans are obviously outraged. And New York Subliners win their first ever grand final at CDL New York. They sweep the Chicago Huntsmen and land at 5th in the overall standings. Plus, a CSGO pro is criticized over a homophobic in-game knife name used during a huge national tournament. All that and more next on The Breakdown. Welcome back to another week of the latest in esports and video game news. If you're new here, thanks for hanging out with us, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date on the latest and stuff you care about when it comes to news in the video game world. New episodes of The Breakdown go live on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we may just have a little surprise in the future for you when it comes to keeping you updated. Without further ado, let's jump into the news. Overwatch League team announces Herbalife sponsorship, and fans are not happy about it. Having a big sponsorship reveal is usually met with excitement since it's perceived as a step forward for any organization striving for longevity in esports, especially in the OWL. This has been far from the case for the Guangzhou Charge. In a league like the Overwatch League that usually embraces corporate sponsors, the deal with the recently announced Herbalife and Guangzhou Charge partnership seems to have been roundly rejected by fans of the esport, considering Herbalife's sketchy past as a pyramid scheme. Call it a multi-level marketing company, call it a distribution company, whatever you want, it has a horrible past with being banned in multiple countries and has been sued by multiple class action suits in the past few years in the US alone. To make matters even worse, the Guangzhou Charge inked the new deal for a massive 3-year time frame, making it a coming staple in the OWL that is going to have a hard time finding acceptance from fans off the rip. Herbalife is another one of those companies that encourages people to buy hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of products to then resell to other unsuspecting people. And if you don't, you're stuck with all that product, and Herbalife goes laughing all the way to the bank. Here are just a few tweets that pop up if you search the Guangzhou Charge's mentions on Twitter, where they announced this deal, and as you can tell, none of them are particularly happy with what is going on. You know it's a bad day when pros from other esports are chiming in to also dunk on just how bad of a deal this is looking like. Where this is eventually going to go is still up to the OWL. How they signed them as a sponsor with their blessing from the league is still kind of a mystery. However, the Guangzhou Charge have been struggling to find more energy going into their organization as of late. We're going to be hanging out with this story for the next couple of months because, again, they signed a 3-year deal, and how that's going to look after 6 months, maybe even a year, is still up to debate. New York Subliners win their first ever grand final at CDL New York. The New York Subliners are champions of their own home series, taking down the Chicago Huntsmen in the grand final to become the 5th different team to win a Call of Duty League tournament this season. After having reached 3 semifinals in a row previously, they finally were able to clinch the win and head to their first grand final and dominate for the win over the Chicago Huntsmen.
Subliners do it for the first time, the second team all year to win their home series event. It's just a round of applause. A celebration for Subliners. They have done it. Congratulations, Subliners. Take the event.
A statement 3-0 sweep of the Huntsmen, who had defeated them earlier in the tournament, confirmed what a lot of people were already thinking. That New York were a much improved and powerful team compared to earlier on in the season, when the team seemed to continue to falter when it came time to big pressure situations as a team. The win placed them solidly in 5th in the season standings, while the Huntsmen moved up to 2nd place overall. The Subliners will be taking home $50,000 in prize money for their showing in the tournament, and sets them up nicely to compete in the upcoming week in the UK as the London Royal Ravens will host their 2nd tournament of the season with the Mutineers, Dallas Empire, and Optic Gaming LA all in attendance. Who do you think the champion for the CDL is about to be? Will it be the Mutineers? Will it be the Ravens? Or will the Huntsmen come back and avenge their loss? Leave a comment down below, and we'll be able to come back and check back on just what your predictions are like. CSGO Pro criticized over homophobic in-game knife name. During the Perfect World Asia League Summer 2020, Chinese team Invictus Gaming were taking on the Mongolians on D13, when, after a great round from Invictus Gaming, Invictus Destroyer displayed his knife with a homophobic phrase emblazoned across it: LGBT Slayer. This quickly came to the attention of commentator Jason Kaplan, who was casting the event, and tweeted a screenshot of the knife, saying that you have to be an effed up person to name your knife as such. Obviously, there was an immediate outrage of fans and viewers condemning it, saying that there is no place to have a player like that in CSGO, and push for Valve to take action and punish the player accordingly. However, many also added that the player in question was Chinese and was not fluent in English, and that the skin itself may not have been his to begin with. In Counter-Strike, and the Chinese market especially, it's a common practice to borrow skins for guns and knives to use in tournaments from both fans and sponsors alike. And some fear that the player may have been subjected to the outrage over something that wasn't even technically his. After a short period of time, the caster who brought light to the situation was eventually updated, saying, "I've received an update that it was a borrowed skin, and he will no longer use it. I just hope if people aren't sure what a knife says or means, they will look it up." Though it's not yet clear whether Destroyer knew what the knife was named or not, it seems to have been brought to the attention of himself and his team, and he won't be using it in any further tournaments going forward. Neither Destroyer nor Invictus Gaming have commented on the matter, though based on Kaplan's update, it appears the issue shouldn't be one in the future. That's it for the news today, and if you have a story you want us to cover on a future episode of The Breakdown, shoot us a tweet at CheckpointXP. And while you're there, you can find out what days we're going to be taking over the front page of Twitch in partnership with our friends at Gamers.vote, an organization encouraging gamers of all political affiliations to do the easiest thing to get their voices heard, which is to register to vote. Want more details? We've got them on our website at checkpointxp.com. My name's Weirdbeard, and Ubisoft lets me down every year that they don't announce another Splinter Cell game.